Hey everybody, it's your girl Angie. Welcome back to Kiss My Cheeks TV. Let's jump right into Big Brother. This is the first week, the POV episode. Let's just jump right into it because I got a couple of things to say. I'm sporting my son's. Does it read right on camera? Because when I look at myself, it's backwards. But I'm a senior mom, number 77. Tonight is the big football meeting to see what the upcoming season gonna be like, and I have so many mixed emotions because with the pandemic, you don't want the kids out there playing and getting sick, but by him being a senior, and my son has played football since age 5, kindergarten, he loves it. Loves it. And I'm like, well, he is good enough to probably play somewhere in college, so it might not be ultimately his last season, but moving on, we talking about Big Brother. I just want to show off my shirt. That's it. But anyway, it jumps right into after nominations, Kevin and Keisha. The first thing that irked me was Kevin's self-esteem. Like, you were all-star, Kevin. I told you this last review. Get it together. Oh, everyone here's their icons. They're so fabulous. I don't know who will play veto for me. I don't know what to do. I'm like, why are you here? Why are you here? He gets up with, who's HOH? Cody. And Cody is like, yeah, man, you on the block. It's week 1. I ain't want to make no waves, but I don't want you to go home. You know, the talk, like maybe we could work together. You know, you stay, we work together. And then Kevin gonna come up with, yeah, let's have the down low mans. I said, no, sir. We are not going to call y'all Secret Alliance the down low mans. I think that was a joke. I ain't like it. Moving on, Keisha comes up to have her talk with Cody, and she was like, oh my God, it smells so good in here. What is that, your cologne, Cody? You smell so good. And I'm like, girl, if you don't get to the game talk, and I see Twitter is reading Keisha. They said Keisha is not even campaigning. They said, and these are all Twitter rumors, I don't know if it's true. They was like, all the All-Stars got paid $40,000. I'll believe it, because you're going to have to come off some change to have people come wanting this All-Stars, and then it's a pandemic. You can give them people some change for coming to do your TV show. And everyone was like, Keisha just came for her $40,000 and she ready to go back home. That's why week 1 is boring. Like, I quit watching the live feeds. On Twitter, they said the production gave them some activities to do because it is so boring. Like, there is no game talk. It seems like Keisha is the one who's going home. Kevin is whining about his self-esteem. Kevin can go next because he's going to aggravate me, because I feel like Kevin is going to be the floater of the season, the one who every alliance will put up as a pawn against their real target. And if the real target comes down, then, oh, well, Kevin, you gone. Bye. Moving on. I love Kaysar. Kaysar is having a conversation about the movement, about, are we going to have the courage to stand up for what's right? And he was talking about, you know, Black Lives Matter, people speaking up for when they see something wrong, using their privilege. He was speaking about how when he played Big Brother the first time, the Iraq war was going on, so he wanted to be an example, because that was back when they thought everybody was a terrorist. But people crazy. But I've seen him have other conversations like this with David and other people, Davon and other people in the house. I'm happy Big Brother showed it. I don't think, bad Angie, I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it. I don't think if the Black Lives Matter movement wasn't so big right now, you know, this summer, all the protests, I don't know if they would have showed that clip. I don't know, but I'm happy. I want to see Kaysar. I want to see more clips like this, because yes, Davon, use your platform. Big Brother All-Stars is your platform to speak out on what is right and to get your point across. That's what it's there for. Now let's get back into the game talk. Tyler has a million alliances, and I'm like, Tyler, your ass ain't gonna learn. You can't. This is where you messed up the last time. You can't have an alliance with everybody in the house, because eventually you're gonna have to double cross somebody, and then eventually when it get down to the jury, if you make it there, they not gonna vote for you because they're like, well, I had an alliance with Tyler and he threw me out, and then they gonna get in the jury and compare notes. Well, I had an alliance with Tyler. I had an alliance with Tyler. I want people to compare notes before jury. But let's see who all had. Tyler already has 2 ride or dies. He ride or die, maybe 3, because he ride and dine with Christmas. He told David he ride or dine. And I believe they said him and Cody are ride or dine. But I think the one with Cody might be, Tyler might be more into that one than Cody is, because it seems like Cody is over here ride and dine with Enzo. We're going to get to them next. But he also was approached by Davon, Kaser, Janelle. That's what they showed on the screen. Over on the live feeds, I already know him and Bailey said they were good, but I already know Bailey. I hope Bailey know not to trust his ass. I really do. But so Tyler in a million alliances, and I feel like production is gonna keep Tyler into the jury. Like, Tyler's gonna make the jury. He's set up very well right now. Everyone wants to work with him. I feel like who can win the game is the person who's willing to take that strike, no fear, and get Tyler up and out. Put him on the block and get him up and out of the game. That's the person who I would want to win, because they're already setting him up like that. Next, we talked about Enzo and Cody. They calling themselves the Roots. I like it. I like it because I like Enzo. I don't dislike Cody. What I dislike is him working with Danny and France. Like, I'm totally turned off from Danny right now. And it's amazing because I don't even recall seeing Danny on this whole episode. I definitely don't recall hearing her speak. Nor Memphis. I'm like, where are those two? Like, even Nicole A and David had airtime. To me, it's a bad look when production isn't giving you airtime, because that means you aren't entertaining and you're not talking about nothing. I haven't seen them. The only things I've seen about, I haven't heard Memphis on the live feed updates about anything except for he's trying to create this huge alliance that he'll be at the bottom of. And Danny is saying trash things. Like, I saw on the live feeds where she said, look at Davon and her weave, and Davon was like, bitch, this my hair. She didn't say bitch, but she was like, this is my hair. Why all the black girls gotta have a weave? We do have long hair too. Like, I know I got a weave now, but I got hair too underneath all of these crochets. And then she got an attitude with Bailey because Bailey was talking about her and Evil Dick. Now, mind you, we don't know the ins and outs of your personal family relationships. You were on a huge TV show with your daddy, and at that time y'all were in the final 2 together, and y'all were riding and dying together. So if that's all I know of you and your daddy is that y'all were on that TV show and y'all look good then, how am I supposed to know y'all on the outs now? Girl, I don't live in your house. Why you got an attitude with people? And your dad, Evil Dick, he's one of my favorite players. He's a favorite, like, I would say of the top players, he's probably for sure in the top 3 of people's favorite Big Brother players. So you can't get mad when people talk about him in your presence. Like, either you're going to shut it down and be like, look, I don't get along with my dad right now. I don't want to talk about him. I don't want to hear about him. Put it out there so it could be known, or shut the fuck up. You can't be mad at people for talking about it. But let's move on from that, because Danny was number 1 on my list. I'm going to change my list next week because she can't stay number 1. But she was number 1 on my list, and I ain't rocking with what I'm seeing on these live feeds. The next alliance is the $1 Million Club. That's Ian and Friends. That's understandable because they both are the two past winners. And then, of course, we saw the Black Girl Magic Alliance. I don't think they call themselves that for real, but I'm going to call them that. Bailey and Davon. Go ahead and throw David in there. Go ahead and pick up David before he get lost over there with Cody and Tyler, because he gonna be at the bottom of what's ever going on over there. Go ahead and scoop him up. Go ahead. They show a segment of Ian talking about being on the spectrum. I didn't know what that is, but I guess that's being autistic. And he was explaining that's why he rocks and that's why he loves to rock in the hammock. And he was like, people in my season and on Twitter were trashing me for that. And I'm like, they're trash. One, what does you rocking in the hammock got to do with them? People are so ununderstanding of people who are different, and it's so awful. Instead of being understanding and getting to know something about someone, you want to bash it and trash them. And especially on Twitter. Like, Twitter, you ain't even in the house. Maybe the people in the house were like, damn, we want to rock in the hammock too, but damn, Twitter, that ain't got nothing to do with you. Why are y'all trashing Ian? Like, I thought that was shameful. But I'm happy, like the castmate said, that he was speaking about it, because it is showing that people who are autistic can do anything. They aren't limited in life. And Ian is an example for them. And I'm happy he talked about that. That was good. Let's get to the veto. It was that ride and stack veto where you have to ride something. This time it was bananas. And then you have to stack something. This time it was little things of fruit. It looked hard as hell. That veto looked hard as hell. I've never seen anything that thin they had to stack. But they did it. The ones who played, of course, was Cody, Keisha, Kevin, and then we had Tyler, Ian, Enzo. And, I missed the part where Kevin was in the bathroom late at night asking everybody to play veto for him. It was so cringy because everyone was already sleepy. They sitting in the bathroom, not because they're hanging out, but they're waiting in line to go use the bathroom. And as they're waiting, I know I don't want to put you in a hard situation, but you think, if I get that house guest choice, you'll play this veto for me. They can't say no. Like, if you say, I choose you, they got to play. Now, if they throw it or give it to you, that's up in the air. And, he asked David, and David was like, yeah, well, it is what it is. I'm going to sleep. Enzo was like, what, it's early, but, if you pick me, I'll play, but I ain't making no promises. And Ian was just very straightforward, like, y'all wouldn't even go ahead and pick me because I ain't trying to rock the boat right now. No veto. And what disturbed me the most is Enzo was drinking a cup of water, and when it was in his turn to go into the actual stall where the restroom was, I didn't see his cup of water sitting on the sink or anything. I'm like, did he take this cup of water in the toilet with him? Disgusting. And something else disgusting happened on the live feeds that really disturbed me. Like, I love makeup. If I flip my camera around this room, I've turned this room into like my makeup studio / filming room / work from home office. Like, it's a mess, but mostly everything in here is all of my makeup. Ridiculous. I love makeup. My homegirls will come over. We'll play in it, put on some shadows, try some stuff. But one thing we don't share is lipsticks. Like, especially lip glosses. Now, a lipstick, what you're supposed to do is get you some alcohol, run your alcohol over it, get you a wipe it off real good, wipe a couple of layers off, and then you can share a lipstick. But you don't never take no lipstick from your lips to someone else's. Now, I guess Janelle gave Nicole Anthony a makeover. Nicole, your face was beat. You looked good. Janelle hooked you up. But in the clip of the live feeds, you clearly see Janelle going, here, you put that on. And Nicole goes, and I said, y'all nasty bitches. I would never. You just don't do that. It bothered my soul because I am like a makeup fanatic, and that really bothered me. But moving on, Enzo wins the veto. He clocks his stack in at 18. Now, what bothered me about the veto is Da'Vonne is like 1 minute left, 60 seconds. And so everyone's stacking their stacks trying to beat Enzo's 18. Here goes Kevin with a 19. I know I got a 19. I should clock it in, but Keisha is still in this. And you look over at Keisha, she ain't got nothing but a 12. I'm like, Kevin, if you don't go hit your buzzer, like, who cares if Keisha's still in it? It done took y'all 30 minutes to get to the 19 because people's stacks was dropping like that. Like, drop, 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 drop. And Kevin, as soon as I guess his mind says, okay, let me just hit it, he runs out of time. And I'm like, you fucking idiot. You idiot. As soon as I saw, I said, 19, bam. And I know at least I got the veto. So what if Keisha gets it? Somebody you know is going to use it because you should have known Enzo wasn't going to use it. And that's ultimately what happened. One more scene happens before the end. Enzo catches Nicole and Ian just conversating. Is that it, or is it conversing? I probably said it the bad English way. I don't know. They were conversating in the restroom, and he runs up to tell Cody, I just called Ian and Nicole. They're in the alliance. And I'm like, it ain't too hard to figure out the two winners are in the alliance. And he was like, I can tell you right now, as long as I'm in the game, it ain't gonna be no two-time winner. And I'm like, you right, Enzo. Not if you want to be the winner. And it seemed like that conversation was so one-sided because they're so scared of Ian. Because they're like, yeah, Ian played against Dan, who was one of the best players, and he beat Dan. And I'm like, yeah, but we only gonna worry about Ian. Like Nicole, who has played twice, this is her third time. Like y'all always find it's Janelle fourth time, but yeah, it's some of those people's third time. Like Da'Vonne her third time, Nicole her third time. Moving on. So nominations are the same. I already told you at the beginning of the video, it looks like bye Keisha. Girl, bye. Honestly, the way Kevin has been whining and crying this whole episode, he can go too. Like, bye Kevin. And the only thing I'm ready for is tonight, who is going to be the new HOH. It's going to bring excitement to my heart. I'm hoping it's someone good like Kaysar, Janelle. I really don't want it to be Da'Vonne because Da'Vonne, from what I see on Twitter, her read on the house is wrong, and she might be the one put up Kaysar and Janelle. Like her read is off. I feel like somebody stupid is gonna win it. I feel like it's gonna be a David win because I feel like the second HOH competition is always one of those twisting the letter, kind of like A, B, or C competitions where they have to, it's like trivia. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be an endurance one, but they haven't done the hang on to something yet. If it's the hang on, I'm going to root for Bailey because I think Bailey is good at those kind of competitions, especially after watching her on the challenge. But if it's one of those A, B, C, D, it could be anybody. I hope it could be Ian. Ian would do something interesting with the HOH, though I feel like Friends would probably be all in his ear. It could be somebody stupid like Chris. I just feel like it's not going to be Kaysar or Janelle, and that's going to hurt because I really want to see them wreak havoc for at least a week on that big alliance. It could be somebody like Danny who will put up Da'Vonne and Bailey and be like, Black Girl Magic, be gone. I don't know. But I feel like week 2 is going to be a lot more exciting because this week was a bore. And I feel like if Kaysar or Janelle do win HOH, they're going to protect Cody and Tyler. I feel like the only thing that would be good with the Kaysar or Janelle HOH is that that suite room is open. And people are going to go play for that. And then people are going to have to show their hands. Like if a Nicole wins, if Danny wins, Tyler, Cody, if any of those people win, they're going to have to name someone. And who will they name to save? And that's going to be good. That's going to be good. I can't wait for tonight. Anyway, you all, that's it. Like I said, we'll have more to talk about after the episode tonight because I can't wait to see who wins HOH. Like, Julie, forget all the BS. Go ahead and let's vote Keisha out. Take about 5 minutes and then get on with the rest of the episode. All right. I'll talk to y'all later. Get in the comments. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, share, all that good stuff. Bye.